What's up, you guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a great day today. Like I said, today, gonna be a little vlog video, so a little different. Gonna try to get some good interactions if I can, and kind of show off some books that I pick up throughout the day. But today's Indiana Comic Con. I got a budget today. But we'll see if I can find some deals on deals. Hopefully, maybe we'll find some really good stuff. But budget, more important. Gotta stay to that. All right, I'll see you guys, see what we got today. So in this video, we're gonna go from least amount spent to most amount spent. And the most amount spent, yeah, that was crazy. So let's start with this. So this whole bundle here, I'm not gonna go over each book priced individually, that'll take way too long. But I'll tell you, this entire bundle you're seeing right now, I paid $300 for it. Yes, I know I owe you a little bit. But I paid $300 for it, and sticker price on the bundle was $380. So saved a little bit over 20% on the bundle. You don't spend as much, therefore you don't save as much. It's something you need to learn if you're going to go to a lot more conventions. The more you spend, the more you will save. That's just how it works. Unless there's some vendors who won't do that, and you're like, you could keep the books. I'll go somewhere else. But $300 spent on this bundle. We have a copy of High Republic #1, first print cover A. You know I love that series. And he had just some killer books. Just some absolute killer books. And I only had the one day, so I was able to go through about 4 or 5 long boxes and look at a couple all books. I tried to take the most out of my day. I wanted to make sure I saw every booth. And he had a great little run of some Spider-Gwen books, but I picked up all of them. Had this cosplay Spider-Gwen variant, Spider-Gwen #4 variant, beautiful Spider-Gwen #1 variant, Spider-Verse #3 variant. My favorite of the batch, the Spider-Verse #1 variant. And this was a really cool Bruce Timm. I did not know Bruce Timm did a Spider-Gwen #1, and since I picked up that other Bruce Timm, had to pick up this one. Now, of course, I had to get my fix of Star Wars books, and he always has some killer Star Wars books. I've been buying a bunch of Star Wars books from him, so it's been good gettings. He had a complete set of Jedi Fallen Order, Dark Temple 1 through 5, Vader #1, but the third printing. Couldn't go wrong with a Vader #1 Scotty Young cover. And then I had to pick up these Campbells, the 607 Campbell. Now this one I picked up the variant because it's a little bit cheaper and it was in nicer condition. Obviously the other one's worth more, but I picked up this one because it was in nice condition and it was a little bit less. And the iconic 601. So couldn't pass up. Like I said, great books. They're always in crispy condition. And this is a great part where I get to kind of go over everything later, figure out what I'm going to get graded, what we're going to sell and what not, and which ones I'm going to hold. But I was very tempted. He also had some really ghost books. He has that Wonder Woman. I'll see if I put a picture of it right here for you. But that like steampunk Wonder Woman. Never seen one in person until that show, so that was really cool. Next up is another one that I purchased for $700. We're going to say that number once and move on. So if you heard it, great. Sticker price on everything was $883, and like I said, I paid $700. Moving on. Was 23%. Now you're saying, Skeff, that's not that much for such a high price point. It's one of the things where it was the first deal I did of the day. See, I want to get in there, kind of break the ice, and kind of get the train rolling. So I kind of probably paid a little bit, a smidge. I didn't get as much of a discount as I would have liked, but you'll see some of the books that I picked up, and some of them I'm like, I paid that for this. You're like, oh, okay, you just wanted to get these. I'm like, yes. There's one big book that I wanted that he didn't really have much wiggle room on. So I'm like, all right, let's see if I can bundle things together. Let's see if we could bundle some things together so I can at least get a deal on the book I really want. Also, he was a fellow Hoosier, so it was Bearded Comic Collectibles. Shout out for the deal. Start things off with, if any of my Miles fans out there, this incredibly rare Miles #1 fourth print had a sticker price of $4. So when I couldn't get that much percentage off, I'm like, well, I got this for $4. So that's why I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll take it all. So Miles, all new Spider-Man issue number 8, all new Spider-Man issue number 10, Ultimate Spider-Man number 27. Actually, I had 2 copies of 27 that I grabbed. I pretty much grabbed everything that had like Ultimate Spider-Man or that all new on there. All new Spider-Man number 18, all new Spider-Man number 15. All new Spider-Man number 14. The classic Web of 8. I always buy this cover every time I see it. Had a copy of High Republic #1 Hans. I'm a sucker for this cover. I'll pick this up every time. And then he had a great little run of Thor: God of Thunder. He did have a number 2 for sale that I just saw. I already have one, and I don't need another one, but I'll take the rest of the issues. I still think they're really, really affordable. So we had a Thor: God of Thunder number 1, number 3, number 7, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, number 13, and number 14. So still great issues to pick up anytime I run across them for a sub $10. Had a copy of Superior Iron Man number 1 for $3. So I'm like, I'll take that every day. So like I said, when I didn't get that much percentage, I just found some killer deals where I'm like, these books are just I just can't pass up. And I found these too. I found a great set of the She-Hulk number 1, the Charles Soule run. So we had the She-Hulk number 1. I picked up issues 1 through 6. So couldn't leave these there. They all had like a sticker price of I think like $3 a piece. So I thought this was a great cover, by the way. Phenomenal cover. So 1 through 6 on the She-Hulk there. Could not leave these behind. And that's kind of where in that situation where I didn't really want to like fight for any more percentage off, because I was already getting a great deal on the Miles book, the Superior Iron Man book, the She-Hulk book, where those are ready for getting a great price on that. So it's one of the things where like I was just happy. I was happy, so I paid everything with like that 700 price point. And you're like, Skeff, well that doesn't seem like a lot there that adds up. You're right. That was not that much total sticker price there. Let me show you why I had to buy this as soon as I saw it in the morning. He had a copy of, first Spider-Gwen. You know me. You guys know what I like to buy. Had to pick this up. Let me take it out of the bag. Guys, this is, when I say it, I think it's an easy 9.6. Like, swish, 9.6. Now watch it get like a 9.2. Probably. But I think it's an easy 9.6 all day. And I originally just tried to buy this. He didn't have as much wiggle room on there. Had a sticker price tag of $700 on this book alone. So, in essence, to get this book, which I basically get this book for $700, kind of get all that for free. I'm like, all right. I found other copies at the show between that $550 to $700 range. Obviously, the ones that were like $550, $500, obviously not in anywhere near this condition. It's just a book that is a very high commanding price. And if I can get a 9.8 on this book, it's a $2,000 book. And even 9.6s are $1,000 plus. So I felt comfortable. Like I got pretty much everything I got that was everything else I got to try to sell to help pay for this copy. So we'll see how it does. This one will be sent off to get pressed and graded by Gary. And fingers crossing for that 9.8, because that would be phenomenal. I mean, it's not a Miles book, so it should be not a 9.6. But that's the reason why I had to buy that whole bundle. So the next booth I stopped at caught my eye because I saw a couple wall books that I'm like was really interesting. And it was a gentleman from St. Louis. I forgot the name of the booth. I apologize. Very nice gentleman. It's actually the booth I completed my very first convention trade at. I've never done a trade before. And what caught my eye was he had a copy. May I please see that Spider-Gwen number 5, David convention exclusive? And there was one behind it. And I'm like, oh, these are beautiful. And I'm like, I'll take both of these. He's like, oh, okay. Then he like reaches on like one of the boxes. There was paper on top underneath his rack. And he's like, I have some more. And I'm like, you have more? Yeah, I'll take. He had 7. It was 7 total. I'm like, yeah, I'll take all of these. These are all, if they hit 9.8s, $300 plus. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take all these. But picked up all 7 of those, and at his booth was a total of $700 spent at. And then I had that $225 trade. So sticker price and everything was around $1,100. Then we minus the $225 trade, brings it down to $875. And this is where it kind of gets interesting, where you kind of have to play the game a little bit. Or at least I enjoy playing the game, where you get down to $875. Then I'm like, all right, what can you do? Then he comes down to like, all right, what about 8? And I'm just like, nah. And then you kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Then we got down to like $750. Then I was just like, and I'm like, all right, let me take some stuff away. And eventually you're just like, you just kind of, you play that game back and forth. And, at the end of the day, they're there to sell books. And I'm just like, I'm here to buy books. So let's work out a deal. And I eventually got this entire lot for $700, which I was very enthralled with. And I'll show you why in just a few minutes. Actually, just a few seconds. I don't know why I would say that. But I have 7 copies of the Spider-Gwen number 5, which I was just over the moon happy to get. I've always been after that book. And just to be able to buy 7 of them for a deal. So the percentage on this one was 8 $875 down to $700. So it's only about about 20% off. But with the trade, it was a massive, huge. The trade we valued at $225 for the King Thor #1 second print, which I end up trading. So I had a spare copy. I'm like, let me just bring some with me to trade to the show. I have nothing into that book, the King Thor book. I think I got it for cover price. I sent it off for a pre-screen. So I was just like, all right, but I have like maybe $40 into it. So to be able to trade it for $225, the guy looked up some comps and he was like, they're going for between like $175 to $3. So he offered like $175 for it. I'm like, I can't do that low. We know it's worth more. And so we agreed upon that $225 number, which I was totally happy with in trade value. So we had $1,100, $225 off, came out at $875, and then I got everything for $700. So we had the 7 Spider-Gwens, and my buddy Nemesis will be proud of me. I snagged some good Star Wars books. So we had Star Wars Shadow of the Empire #2, 2 copies of beautiful Vader #25 Aphra action figure, another really pretty Dr. Aphra #5, scored 2 copies of Darth Vader #3, beautiful copy of the Agent of Doom Star Wars, and then another Star Wars Boba Fett Bounty on Barracuda. And really, I can't pass up a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Dark Temple #5. I had a beautiful copy of Shadow of the Empire #1. 2 copies of the first Tombstone. Can't leave those behind. A nice little Invincible #18 back issue. You guys know how I am about my War of the Realms New Age of Atlas. Had to pick one of those up. Now, obviously, this book I'm showing you right now is going to be the worst condition of all of them, but it's just absolutely incredibly rare. Batman #6, second printing. First Quarter Owls. Stunning book. I did not have a second print. I have a first print, and then the ratio. Now I have the second print. And people are asking for more Strange Academy, so had a set of the Strange Academy #4, the Momokos, and then 2 slabs in the deal. Picked up. Come on now. I can't pass up a We Live #1, third print 9/8, and then one of the other wall books that caught my eye. A nice rare copy, Darth Vader #3, 9.6, second printing. Just a good one to get and hold. So that bundle right there, that was a $700 spent there, and everything looked like it was in really great condition. A lot of those books are going to be sent off to get graded because they're just, the value's there. All right, last one. I know it's been a long video, guys, but it's been a while since I've done a vlog haul of a lot of great back issue stuff. But thank you guys so much for staying with me the whole one. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a blast to do, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of these as I hit more conventions. So last one is the one I spent the most at. I spent $1,700 at that one. And it was just a great deal. Don't worry about how much I spent. And the most important thing is how much I got percentage off. I had the pleasure of meeting a gentleman by the name of Mark who I've picked up some absolutely huge books off of at some great prices. At this show, shout out to a brand new Mark, another Mark who I'm like, all right, if your name's Mark, we're gonna make some good deals. From Louisville, I've never bought from him before, but I am now tempted to make a trip down there. Called Comic Book World in Louisville, and this man, both Marks have great. It was just the variety he had. I'm pulling out books, so I'm just like, this is in this box, guys. When I say I'm just pulling out books in a box, I'm like, here's Amazing Spider-Man #5. Here's Amazing Spider-Man #8. Here's he just had some incredibly great, a lot of Spider-Man keys. I wish I could have bought all of them. It was hard. It was just hard to, I wanted to pull the trigger. He had issues 93 through 125 or something like that. Just some great Spider-Man books. But it's one of the things where those Spider-Man books, they're beautiful. I would love to have picked them up, but I was already spending way too much, and you'll see why in just a few seconds. So I told you the number earlier. If you missed it, go back and rewind it. But spent that much with him. But the great part is that when you get to that price point of how much, you're getting to a great deal where you get, I think the prints, it was over 35% off sticker price, and everything he had sticker price was pretty close to what sold listings on eBay were, and or a little bit lower. So he absolutely gave me the hookup. He had some books that I was just like, I have to buy this, and you'll see why in just a second. So a little over 35% off on everything here. Absolutely incredible. And starting off, we'll start slow and we'll build up. I'll show you why. So for, I think it was $3, lowest late #8, little key worth about 10 to 15 bucks. Take that for $3. Rick and Morty #44 signed Supercon variant for $3. Yeah, I'll take that all day. And then, like I said, more Thor books. Thor #4, Thor #3, and Thor #1. Now, I went against my better judgment since I picked up most of all these issues for cover price, I bought Something to Kill Children at the show because you know me in the series. I have to pick them up. I'll evaluate them, see if they're gradable, and or let's see if we move them now. Whichever one comes first. Something to Kill Children number 7. First print. Great. I remember picking these up for cover price. It's insane now. An early issue number 3. And then a number 2 third print. Now, before I freak out and show you why I really bought everything for this crazy price that I bought it at, let's show you a few. We'll work our way up that price point chain. He actually had 4. I actually bought some slabs. I bought some older slabs. Where the slabs I bought because they were older or they're PGX, and I think these are some good CPR candidates or just reholders. Had a 9.4 copy, phenomenal cover, ASM 194, and a 9.4 old case. I just couldn't leave that behind. It was a great price. Had Amazing Spider-Man number 35 in a 7.5 old case where this looks much better than the 7.5. Amazing Spider-Man number 27 in a PGX, which I'll be cracking out as soon as I can and sent off for a press and a clean. 4.5 ASM 27. Like, that's incredible. Look at Amazing Spider-Man number 57 for a 7.0. This is a clean copy. Now, the great part with PGX, they actually have, like, well, everyone has 3 notes now. But for PGX, you just, you go to their website and you just email them, like, what your serial number is, and they'll just send you the notes. So, I'll look at the serial notes, but these are all books that I just looked over, looked at comps, and even in their current grades, if they get a CGC, are worth significantly more. So those were some great Spider-Man slabs that I was able to pick up. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the majority of this price point, but still, everything was like 35% off plus, and I'm just like, I couldn't pass it up. First massive thing that I ran across where I'm just like, you have one of these. I have been quietly hunting this book because it's so dang expensive. Because of this, man, this darn mouse makes this book so expensive. And my buddy Justin picked this book the day it came out for like $100. I'm still mad about him, but it's all good. But I was finally able to track it down. I actually almost bought this at C2E2 3 years ago. Someone had one. It was a 9.8. I think they had it listed at like $375 or $400 that I just passed on. I'm like, whatever. But I finally tracked one down. They just don't come up very often. There's still a $1,000 9.8 book, and if you get it signed, more. So had to pick this up. Sorry to Mrs. Comic Book World. It was her copy that I'm just like, I will take good care of it. I'll send off to get it graded, and it'll be preserved. So this is a big book that I'm just like, I never in my wildest dreams think I'd own this. But you run across it, and if you get it for a great price, you get it for a great price. Now here we go. This is the whole reason I spent so much on this submission. So you guys know how I'm always looking for copies of Ultimate Fallout 4 number 1 first print so I get my 9.8. Yeah, long story. We know it's never going to happen. Maybe one day, but whatever. So I was going through his boxes of goodness, which is a plethora of those, and I found a little run of like, hey, look, you have Ultimate Fallout 4 number 1 second print. All right, it had no price tag. Most everything had a price tag, but I was able to find a few things that didn't. So this didn't have a price tag, nor did this one, nor did that one, nor did that one. Yeah, I bought 4 copies. Yeah, I bought 4 copies. They all need pressing, but if one of them hits a 9.8, it's like an $800 book. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm so excited. 4 copies, and like with the total saves and everything, they're sub $100. Like, you're not gonna pass up a second print, Miles, sub $100. Like, yeah, I'll buy this all day. It's an all day buy. So incredibly stoked to find these. He gave me a heck of a deal. I was so excited. Now I think one of them might come back in 9.8. The other ones are probably 9.6s, but regardless, I am still getting them all pressed and graded. Now a crazy thing I actually don't own yet, where he had, once again, 4 of them. I'm like, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to buy all these. All new Spider-Man number 1, still in polybag. He had 4 of them. Yes, 4 of them, all polybagged. You bet your sweet bottom, I'm going to be breaking out these polybags as soon as I get a chance and sending them off to get pressed and graded. Now the crazy part of that book, this is a crazy, crazy book. The all new Spider-Man number 1s, because like it is quote unquote the second Miles. And it's a big book, and it's because they're so difficult to get in high grade. So my brain goes like, sure, the polybag probably hurts the creasing, but it also protects the cover. So it's all black, which leads to a lot of printer rub, so it's really fun to crack these open to see kind of what they are. But 9/8 in this book alone are close to $2,000. So if just one of them hits, we're in the win. Just like so, like if one of these hits and one of the second prints hits, we're looking at like $2,800 into this value already. So like that's why just one of these things where like if you can find multiples of a big book like that, it is a definite win. But I still can't believe absolutely incredible price for all four of these, and stoked. I was just so blown away. Like I immediately saw the second prints. I saw these. We're gonna spend some money today. But that was a haul, guys. I am so excited. Most like I can't believe. Obviously, everything's mostly modern. Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff harder for me just because I don't know its market as well, and I didn't grow up with the book, so it's nothing of those like attachment for the memories. I understand these modern books well, but I mean, if you give me some older books that are already graded, now we talk, and now we talk in my realm, and with CPR some of those. So that'll be a fun journey. But guys, thank you so much. I know this is a long video, one of my longest ones. If you made it all the way through, give me a comment down below that you made it, and let me know if you guys really enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this video, I'll do another one. I know it's longer format, and it was a blast kind of going over everything with you. Thank you guys so much for always supporting me and watching the video. And guys, also let me know what do you think my best pickup of the day was. I'd love to hear from you. But that's it for this one, guys. Have yourself a phenomenal day. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out.